Good morning, everybody. I'm glad you're able to join me today. Be sure that you comment when you come on so I can see who's here. Let me go ahead and bring my iPad up so I can watch my comments. All right, there I am. It interrupted for some reason. Okay. I'm just going to give a few seconds here for everybody to get on here. I might have came on just a little bit early. Hope everyone's having a good day. All right, let me introduce myself if you don't know me. I'm creating cards with Debbie. My name is Debbie Foster. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Bismarck, Arkansas. And I'm glad that you're able to join me today. We're going to do 3 cards. And I hope they're to your liking. We're going to be doing one sympathy card. Needless to say, sometimes we do need those. So I'm going to have one of those be a sympathy card. And the other 2 are just basic everyday cards. So like I said, be sure you say hi when you come on. Let me know that you're here. Okay, let me go ahead and turn you down here. If you get dizzy, close your eyes while I do this. Morning, Sharon. Glad you're here. Hope you're feeling a little better. Close your eyes if you get dizzy here. I'm going to be turning the camera every which way until we get it situated right. Get my lighting on here. I'm not going to be using my Stampin' Up! Pad. I'm going to try just using my bare desk, so I hope that shows all right. And we're a little bit crooked. And let me see how that looks. My phone keeps popping up different messages. Okay. I think that might look okay. Yeah, a little bit crooked. It's either on my table crooked or the camera's crooked. I'm not sure which one. Okay. I think we're going to go with that. Just kind of bear with me. Why is it showing crooked though? That bugs me. Is my camera crooked? Maybe so. I don't want to mess too much. I don't want to drop the phone. I'm trying to see which way I need to go with this. Maybe right there. All right. Get my lighting over here. I think that's okay. Morning, Deborah. Glad you're able to come on. I'm just getting everything situated here before we get started. Okay, like I said, I'm creating cards with Debbie, and you can shop with me on my online store at www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And here's our August code, which is JCHDAEWW. Use that code if your order is under $150. So, and here's my blog address and to sign up for Paper Pumpkin. Speaking of Paper Pumpkin, let's go ahead and talk about that. For September, Paper Pumpkin is called Haunts and Harvest Paper Pumpkin Kits. and that runs, you can sign up between August 11, which is past, until September 10th. This month's kit will include experience everything the autumn season has to offer with this month's paper pumpkin kit. Whether you're thinking about crisp red apples or you're ready to carve some spooky jack-o'-lanterns, or both, the Haunts and Harvest Paper Pumpkin Kit is a hands-on crafting experience for all autumn lovers. Hi Amber, glad you were able to get on today. I've missed you the last couple of weeks. Okay, and about this kit, it contains enough supplies to create 12 treat boxes, comes with an exclusive stamp set and a classic Stampin' Spot. It offers a versatile autumn experience with a selection of treat box styles. Take your pick of apple, pumpkin, or jack-o'-lantern treat boxes. The paper pumpkin box is designed to easily transform into a vintage wheelbarrow to display your harvest. That's really interesting. I'm kind of anxious to see exactly how that's done. It features a vivid fall palette with these coordinating colors, which are basic black, pale papaya, poppy parade, pumpkin pie, and soft succulent. So if you have any questions on that, it's a monthly subscription, which is $22 a month, and you receive everything in the kit that you're going to need. All you'd need to add to that would be maybe some liquid glue and your scissors, but otherwise everything is included. Okay, so we'll set that aside. And Stampin' Up! Has a special with a celebration going on where you can join my team, which is your kit will cost you $99 for your starter kit, but you receive $125 worth of product with that kit. All you'd pay extra would be the sales tax. The shipping's included in that price. And as our promotion for August and September, while celebration is going on, you get to pick one of these 12 bundles, which is on page 19 of your celebration catalog. And the highest priced one there is $60.25, which is the Christmas to Remember bundle. So if you add that onto this with $125 and add that, you're looking at $207, because you're going to also receive a free paper pumpkin kit along with that. So it might be something that you want to consider and think about. If you have any questions, be sure that you private message me or email me at my email address, which is creatingwithdebbie179@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to help you with that. Would love to have you on my team. We have lots of fun. You don't only get me, but you get my upline also, so it's kind of an added bonus. We have lots of fun. Okay, so let me see. Is there anything else I need to go over? I don't think there is. I want to remind you that we've got our celebration going on right now, and I got things caught here for some reason. The celebration going on where with each $50 purchase that you get a free item out of this catalog. So this goes on until September 30th. And we're going to be using one of the stamp sets out of there today. And don't forget, the mini catalog is going on too until the end of December. So lots of goodies. I know, I've bought my share already. Oh well. Alright, we're going to get started here. I'm just trying to decide which one I want to go with first. I think we're going to go with this one first. Like I said, this is one of the stamp sets that we have in the celebration catalog, which is the textures and frames. I'm getting kind of a glare there. I think it's my lighting. I don't know how to get rid of that too much. But I'll try to hold it so it's not glaring so much. So it's all shapes and things. I think it's kind of interesting. And So we're going to be using that today. And this is our card that we're going to be making. It says, "Hello, friend," and sending you this paper hug. And the sentiments for this are going to come out of our biggest wish and through it together. So those are the 2 extra stamp sets that we're using to go along with the textures and frames. Yeah, Amber, I'm glad that you got on. You didn't have any problems today? Okay, so let me get my bits and pieces out here and we'll get the show on the road. Alright, we're going to start out, we're using our new in colors on this card, so they'll be bright and cheerful. Okay, our card base is the, what is it called? It's, I'm drawing a blank. The polished pink. And that's going to be 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and then it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4. So we're just going to burnish the edge of that really good. And we'll set that aside for a moment. We're going to get our layers out here. I've got the Fresh Freesia cardstock, and that measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then the next one is the Pale Papaya, and that's 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. And then the basic white, which is 3.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches. So we're going to just set our mats aside here, and we're going to do our stamping to start with. And we've got, this is the photopolymer stamps. So we're going to use our cushion. It's our piercing mat. It's in the catalog. Oopsie. Got things falling here and scaring Cookie. So we're going to go ahead and open our ink pads. Okay. And we're going to be using this one here and this one here, and then the splotching. And stuck that in my ink pad. Of course, we got to start out making a mess right away here. Okay, so we're going to start out with our, which one do I want to start with first? I think we're going to do the splotches first, and I didn't get that one out. How did I forget to do that? Alright, let me grab an ink pad, an acrylic block here. Just reaching across here, there we got it. Here, I thought I was so organized already. I'm going to switch these two out. I'm going to put this on the smaller block, put this on the larger block. Okay, so we're going to start out with a Pale Papaya and do our splotches, which are, I'm kind of doing them random along the outer edges. And not showing really good here. Let me maybe move this up a little bit. There, that might be a little better. Looked like I was out of camera view a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so we're done with the blotches. We're going to set those aside and move the Pale Papaya so I don't get in that by mistake. And then we're going to do the polished pink with the kind of the stripes. And these are going to be random too. I think I'll start right here. It probably isn't going to look exactly like my card that I've done ahead of time, but that's okay because we don't want any two alike. I'm going to do another one. Maybe a partial one right there. So we've got the polished pink is finished. Now we're going to come in with the fresh freesia. And figure out where we want to do these. There, one there. And one over here. One there. We're kind of making our own designer series paper backgrounds. Alright, I think that's good. Let me close up the ink pads. We're going to be using this on the next card too, these same colors. So, and then I'm going to bring in my Stamparatas. And I've already got everything loaded on there. We're going to be doing the Hello Friend on the front of our card. And let's see if I can get this in the same spot I had it before. I don't remember where it was. I should have marked my pad to line it up better. Might have been right about here. So I'm going to put my magnets down. And this we're going to be using the black memento ink, which is right here. And I'm just going to ink up some sentiments with the black memento ink. Am I on camera yet? Let me rearrange here a little bit. Not really. Why am I? Alright, let's do that again. And this is what's good about the Stamparatas. If you don't get a good coverage, you can go back in and do it again as many times as you need to. Uh-oh. Well, that didn't come out right. I must have moved it. Goodness gracious. Well, that's why we have two sides. We're going to stamp the other side really quick here. I was afraid of that. I thought my paper had moved. We'll do this really quick. See, there's not really any mistakes in paper crafting and card making because you can usually fix it one way or the other. Yeah, Sharon, it'll be okay. I'm not going to sweat the small stuff. I'm just showing you what not to do. Alright, so we're going to come back in with the polished pink and we're going to stamp them. Okay, grab the right one here, and then come in with the fresh freesia, and I'll go this way. And I think I'm going to leave it just like that. Let's close these up again. We need to have our arms and fingers stuck in it, which I'm good at doing, it seems like. Alright, so now we can come back in and we're going to try our Stamparatus again. And put it back where it was. I think that's good right there. And hopefully it doesn't move on me again. When you're inking up your stamps, when you've got it on the plate, you might want to put a stamp set underneath it to help support it. It kind of makes it more stable. Alright, and we're off camera again. Alright, I think I'm going to leave it as is. I don't want to mess it up again. I would have liked to have it a little bit darker, but I'm going with that one. Alright. And now we are going to take our ribbon, make sure my fingers are clean, which is the Fresh Freesia open weave ribbon. And we're going to just take a piece of that and we're going to wrap it around the front side and then tape it in the back side. Oops, whoops. Let's throw things around here and make a bunch of noise. I'm going to take and find my Stampin' Seal instead of my Scotch tape. So I've got a little compartment here with all my things in it. I have a kitty cat that wants to get up on my desk, and she loves to chew up pencils and things, so I always have to keep it in there to keep it out of reach of her. Alright, so we're going to put our Stampin' Seal at each end so we can wrap our ribbon around and connect it. Alright. And am I straight? Alright. And now we're going to glue it down to our mats. So we'll glue it to our Peel Papaya first. Oops. And we'll leave a small edge going around. And then we'll do the same with the Fresh Freesia. And then we glue that all down to our card base. And then we tie a little faux bow over our ribbon, which is just a piece of ribbon that's tied. This. I got fumble fingers this morning. And we're going to snip that off. And maybe trim this down a little bit too. Alright, So there's the outside of our card. And now we need to work on our inside, which the inside measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and that's our basic white cardstock. And we're going to stamp Sending You This Paper Hug. We'll use the black Memento ink. And we're just going to put that in the center upper portion. And get us some more glue. And attach that to the inside of our card. Yeah, Amber, that's right. Okay, so here we got our card. It's hello friend, and sending you this paper hug. You could also add some rhinestones or something to the card front, but I'm kind of leaving it plain. I think I like it without. So that was our first card. Let's continue and go to our second card, which is going to be our sympathy card. I think we're going to do that one next. Excuse Cookie, she's all excited. Cookie, stop it. Her dad's coming in, so she's carrying on here. Okay. I have to bring some scrap paper over here. The video keeps saying that it's interrupted for some reason, but it comes right back. Is there anybody else having that same problem on your side? I'm hoping it might just be me, maybe. Alright, so this is going to be our second card. This is our sympathy card. And it says, so sorry for your loss. And then on the inside, my thoughts are with you. This could be for for a man or a woman, either one. Okay, Sharon, yours is doing okay? Okay, maybe it's just my side. I'm hoping that's all it is. Okay, we're going to start out with the card base. I was just reading my computer here. I'm going to be using the black, basic black cardstock. And this measures 5 1/2 inches by 8 1/2 inches, and then it's scored at 4 1/4 inches. So we're going to burnish the edge of that really good. And then we have, this is a Night of Navy. This is going to be our matte. And that measures 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And we're just going to set those aside because we're going to be working on our stamping. Did I take the wrong one here? Okay, that one's the inside. The inside of the card is going to be basic white, and that's 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. So we're just going to tuck that aside so I don't grab the wrong one and stamp on it. Alright, and we're going to need some scrap basic white. We're going to do our stamping on that, and then we'll die cut. So I'm just going to use the black Memento ink to stamp these with. We've got a sailboat. We've got 2 sailboats. And then we've got a lighthouse. And I didn't show you the stamp set. The stamp set is going to be the sailing home, and then the sentiments come out of prize peony. We're going to do some blending and coloring with blends and using the blending brush. So this might take a little bit. I'm not sure if we'll have time to do our third card after this. I may have to save that for next week. But we'll see how it goes here. because I really wanted to do this card, so bear with me. We're going to go ahead and do our coloring of our sailboats and our lighthouse first. And I'm just using light Night of Navy and light Balmy Blue. And then I'm going to do the sand under the lighthouse using light Crumb Cake. So we're going to do the sails of the boat with a light navy. And after we get done coloring these, we're going to die cut these out. And then they'll be placed in the front of our card. So I'm just coloring the sails and then the boat itself with the light Night of Navy. Alright, and then we're going to come back in with our Balmy Blue, light Balmy Blue. And we'll color the little bit of water underneath the boat. And I'm going to fill in the background so it kind of blends in with our sky. And same with this one. Oops, I didn't color the bottom of the boat. We're going to come back in with the light Night of Navy. Bring this back over here. And we're going to color the lighthouse. I'm just kind of filling it all in with the light Balmy Blue. And I went out of lines there a little bit, but that's okay, because we're going to color the edges after we die cut it too. So today's the first day of school for the kiddos. Hope they're all having a good day and everything goes okay for them. Hard to believe that their summer vacation's over with already. And I'm doing the sand underneath the lighthouse using the light Crumb Cake. Alright, so now we're going to bring in our baby boss, and we're going to die cut these. My husband's phone's going off here. Alright, my plates. We're using our baby boss. We're using the number 1 plate and 2 of the number 2 plates. And we'll set that there. And we're going to bring in our dies. Don't have that here yet. The stamp set, you can get the dies to go along with it too. So, where's my There's my lighthouse. Okay. And see if I can cut 2 at a time here. I'm going to get me some washi tape to hold this down in place. You can probably hear the husband in the house here. He was outside putzing around out there, but I guess he came in, he got too hot. And then the sailboats. Alright, so let's run these through. And the crackling is normal, so don't think that it's breaking your plates. It's just the blades that are cutting through. So that's a normal sound. Kind of scared me the first time I did that, and I heard that. I thought, oh great, something's breaking. But it's not. That's normal. Alright, there's the one lighthouse. And one sailboat. Let's do the other sailboat. Get them lined up. And make sure it's on there right. Run this through. Alright, we're done with Peggy Floss. We'll set her aside. And set our plates aside. And there's our other sailboat. This phone is loud. Okay, we're going to come in with our light balmy blue. And we're just going to color the outside edges of those to get rid of that white going around it. He's got his phone loud. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. I know you're probably hearing this whole conversation going on. I don't know why he's got his phone on the speaker. So I'm going around the edges. I don't want this showing after I attach it to the front of my card. So I'm kind of covering up the white edges. I know this is probably boring for y'all to watch me doing this. Okay. What do I do with the cover? There it is. And with your blends, you want to make sure that you hear that clicking sound when you put the cap back on, because they can dry up if you don't get the lid on tight. I learned that the hard way on one of mine. Okay, so we're going to bring our scrap paper over here again, and we're going to do this. Okay. Glad you can't hear him, Sharon. He's got to have it putting his phone on speaker so everybody can hear. He doesn't realize that the sound carries up here, I guess. Alright, so let's get back to business here. We're going to come in with our blending brush. Put the lid on my memento. And we're going to color the sky and the water. So I'm going to do the Misty Moonlight on the bottom. That's going to be our water. And then the balmy blue on the top for the sky. And all I'm doing is rubbing it into the ink pad. And then I'm going to turn my card so I get the bottom portion. And then you want to kind of tap off a little bit of the ink and come in here and just start blending all the way across. And I think I got quite a bit on there, so I won't have to go back in and tap it in the ink pad again, so it looks pretty good. I don't want it dark either, just so it kind of looks like water, and I should have started out with a light color first. So I'm going to bring in my inky rag, and we're going to clean that off a little bit. You could either use a rag to wipe the ink off of your blending brushes, or you can run them under just clear water to wash them out, to rinse them out, and then let them dry, but make sure that you've got them facing up to dry. I usually start out with a lighter color first. I wasn't thinking here. So we're going to see how this turns out. This is a balmy blue. It's going to be the sky. I think I'm going to try it on my paper to see. Yeah, looks like I got all the dark off of there, so we're okay. And we're going to do the same with that. We're going to start off the edge and then come onto the paper. And with this being a lighter color, we're going to have to re-ink this one and do the same. Start off the edge, make your way over across it, and until you get it to how dark you want it. I'm thinking that's good. It's a clear day out there today, no clouds or anything. Alright, close these up. Set them aside, set my blending brush aside. Alright, now we're going to start assembling. I'm going to put my one sailboat and the lighthouse. Gosh, I'm having a hard time with words today. On the back of these. So I've got my edges of my mini dimensionals. We're just going to cut those down and use those. You don't want to throw away. They're still usable. So I just snip the edges, and I can make them as big or as little as I want. Now I'm going to take your pick tool to get those off of the paper. And I'm going to place them on the backs of the lighthouse. Let me see here. Okay, get those popped off. And then we're going to place that off to the edge here. And then one of the sailboats, I'm just going to glue it directly down to the card. Oops. I don't know if I can get a hold of it without getting my fingers in the glue, and I didn't want to do that. And we're just going to kind of place it right there. And wipe that glue off. And this one we're going to put up on dimensionals. And I'll do the same. And we just need two on this one, I think. Pop the backings off with the take your pick tool. And I'm out of camera view here. This one I'm going to put a little bit lower because we want to save room for our, in fact I'm going to scooch it just a tiny bit over. So we have room for our sentiment right there, which is going to be "So sorry for your loss." And we're just going to use black memento ink. When I'm stamping, and when I ink my things up, I like to stamp off on something else to see if I got a good coverage of it. So yeah, it's good to have a piece of scrap paper handy. Alright, so got the So Sorry for Your Loss. And we're going to add some birds using the black memento ink also. And make sure that they're not flying upside down. And maybe the one over here. Alright. Put the cover on that so we don't have an accident with it. And now I'm going to come in with my linen thread and we're going to wrap that around. And I'm going to wrap it around a couple of times. I need to take my husband's phone away from him. It's loud in there. And we're just going to tie a little knot. It's always harder to do this when I'm live. I don't know why. Alright, and I'm going to cut that off because we're going to make a bow after we get this all attached. And kind of spread it out. Looks like I have one crooked there, so I'm going to straighten that out. Okay, so we're going to glue this down to our Night of Navy mat. I think I had a glue goober there. It wasn't coming out very well. Okay. And we'll put that down on our Night of Navy mat. There's going to be a tiny edge going around it. You just barely see the navy blue under there. I don't know if you can see that there. Let me get rid of my inky paper. And then we can glue this to the front of our card base. And make sure you've got it going the right direction and you don't put it on upside down, which I have done occasionally. Okay. And now we can tie our bow, hopefully. It'll let me. Even with the manly card with the linen thread, it doesn't really look real girlish, so you can still get by with making a bow. And we have this string. Let me tighten this up a little bit. Alright, now we can trim that off a bit. Alright. And of course, we need to put some rhinestones in here to bling it up a little bit. And I'm going to put the rhinestones at the top of the tower. It'll look like it's got a light shining. And I'm just going to use the medium rhinestones. And we'll put one right in the center of that. And some more medium ones, and we'll place a smudge there. We're going to cover up that smudge. And So here we have the front of our lighthouse. So let's do the inside of our card. I'm going to take the bigger sailboat, and we're going to stamp that using the balmy blue. And we're just going to do that in the center, and we'll put our sentiment on top of that. And we'll stamp our sentiment using the black memento. And it's going to say, "My thoughts are with you." And right in the center of that. Okay, so there's the inside of our card. Let's glue that to the inside. And this measured 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and it's our basic white cardstock. And center that. Okay, there we have that. And I'm going to put some Wink of Stella on some of this. I'm going to put some on the sails, the sailboat sails, and some on the water. And then I'm going to put where the windows are in the lighthouse to kind of give it a little sheen. Okay. Alright, so here's our sympathy card. "So sorry for your loss. My thoughts are with you." Yeah, Deborah, this is an old stamp set that's carried over, I think, the last couple years. And I just haven't used it enough, and I needed some sympathy cards for some men that I passed this past week, so I thought it would be a good choice. I'm not quite in camera view there for some reason. Where am I? Okay, so let's get to the next card. Let me clear my area here a little bit. Alright, if nobody's in a hurry, I'll go ahead and I'll do our third card. And we're going to be using the Color and Contour. I hope y'all can stay. It won't take us very long. I've got everything cut out already, so let's save some time here. Alright, instructions here and everything that I'm needing. And I'll get some pieces. Okay, so we're using the Color and Contour stamp set, and this is the card that we're going to be making. And the inside, it says, "Here for you now and better days ahead," and "You're absolutely amazing." It's on the inside. This is kind of a fun card too, and I'm using those same in colors, the 2021 to 2023 in colors. So let me get my bits and pieces here and get myself a little organized. I've got a mess here. I'm glad you can't see it. Alright, so I've already pre-cut everything here, so it should go fairly fast. We're going to start out with our card base is 11 inches by 4 1/4 inches, and then it's scored at 5 1/2 inches. And this is our Fresh Freesia cardstock, which is one of the new in colors. And we're just going to burnish the edge of that. I'm so out of camera here. I'm trying to, let me see, maybe if I put my paper I can see where I am. Hold on a second. My iPad's got a delay on it. Maybe it's better right there. We'll see how that does. Alright, a card base. And then we've got a piece of black cardstock. I've got to get my measurements here. Which measures 4 inches by 4 1/4 inches. And I've already cut off the edge of that using the scalloped edge from the dies that go with the stamp set, which are called Scallop Contours dies. And we're using the scalloped edge right here. We use to cut that off, die cut it. And then we've got another one. We use the contour scalloped dies. We use this frame, and I've die cut that out of the pale papaya. But we're not going to use the whole thing. We're going to cut it down to size here. So we're going to cut that down. Let me get my little trimmer here. And I just want just the edge of this. It's going to be sticking out, so we don't need the whole thing. So let's cut that down so we can glue it to the inside of our plate. Like this one. And we'll turn it around and we'll do the other side. And I'm not really measuring, I'm just kind of eyeballing how much I want to cut off of there. So I guess it's probably about an inch or so. And we're going to glue that to each edge over here. And then we're going to trim it down. So let me go ahead and put some glue on the edge of this. I could have used my Stampin' Seal too. That will stick with the glue for now. And turn this over and kind of match up where I want it to be. I'm kind of matching up these little indentations here. And we'll come back in and trim those off afterwards. So let me do the same with this side. Oh wait, I'm not doing this right. This was supposed to go onto the white, not the black. So I've got another piece of white, which is 2 1/2 inches by 4 1/4 inches. I take that all back here. My glue should be wet enough to still stick there. We're going to glue that to the edge of the white on both sides. I wasn't looking at my card very well here. And we'll put some glue along this edge. And do the same with the other one. And I'm going to kind of match up both edges. Alright, and now we're going to come in with our scissors and we're going to trim this all off. What do I do with my scissors? Okay. So we're just going to turn it over. Well, I think I'll leave it this side so I can see better. Usually I turn it over to trim, but I've got quite a bit hanging over there, so I couldn't really see it real well. And both sides the same. Okay, now we've got it right. And now we're going to glue that down to our black portion. We probably should have stamped our flowers first, but we're going to see if it'll still work doing it this way. It's been a few days since I designed this card, so I guess I forgot how I did it a little bit, which is alright. It'll all be okay in the long run. Okay, so there we have that. I might want to come in with my eraser, my ink or glue eraser afterwards, after that dries a little bit, and clean that off. Okay, let's go ahead here. We're going to do our outline of our flowers first using the black memento ink. I've got 2 pads of black memento ink here for some reason. And I'm going to stamp 3 flowers. And I'll start with the middle one, center that. And I need to be using my mat, which got put out of the way here. Let me come in here and do this mat here. And I'm kind of alternating. I'm not doing them all in the same direction, so this one will run off the edge a little bit. And so will the one on the right side. Okay, we're done with that. And put the lid on the ink. And now we're going to bring in our colors again. We're using the same as we did on the first card. It's going to be the pale papaya, the polished pink, and the fresh freesia. So I'm going to have to clean these off in between, so but that will just take a moment. Alright, so we're going to stamp our flowers. This is the pale papaya, which is in the center. And these are kind of like a watercolor effect, so it's not going to match up exactly. So don't sweat the small stuff. If you see that and you can't get them lined up, that's the way it's supposed to be. I should have had this on a bigger block. It'd be easier to work with. I'll snitch one of these. Yeah. There we go. Makes this block better. Alright, so we're done with the pale papaya. And we're going to do the fresh freesia, or the polished pink. Alright. Okay. And I'm going to clean that off. I'm using my Simply Chamois to clean my stamps off with. And you can find that in my store too. I think it's like $8. But all you do is you wet it, and I keep mine in the Stampin' Up case, and you clean your stamps off that way. You don't have to use any chemicals that way, or any special cleaners. It's just plain water, and you rinse it out when it gets a little dirty. It does stain it, but that doesn't mean that it's dirty. It's just something you don't worry about. I got a piece of hair on my stamp pad, or fuzz or something. I had to get that off. Alright, so we got the fresh freesia ink. We're going to do the same with our remaining flower there. And I'm going to stamp that. Okay. Alright, we'll put that aside. We'll have to clean that right now. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to glue that to the front of our card base. Make sure I got the opening the right direction. Put some glue on the back of this little girl. Okay, with flowers you kind of think of it as being kind of a girly thing, so that's why I'm calling it a little girl. I don't know where that came from. And we're going to center that in the front of our card base. And if you have a little bit of excess, you can come back in and trim it down. I'm just kind of making sure both edges are on there. Alright, then press it down. And you can turn it over to see. I think mine's good. And then we're going to stamp our sentiments using the black Memento ink. And this will go on the bottom, this will go on the top. It says, "Here for you now." I'm going to put that at the top, the "Here for you now." And I thought that was doing crooked, but it's pretty straight. And the and in better days ahead at the bottom. Alright, and on the inside we've got our basic white cardstock, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're going to come back in with our fresh freesia flower. And we're going to stamp just the outline of it. And I want to stamp this off. I don't remember if I stamped it off first. I think we're okay with full strength. And we're just going to stamp that flower in the middle. And then we'll stamp our sentiment over the top of that using black memento ink. It's kind of a nice added effect on the inside. And the sentiment for the inside is, "You're absolutely amazing." And get that inked up good and stamp that in the center of that flower. Okay, looks good. Put the cover on the ink pad and glue this to the inside of our card. And we'll be almost done here. Alright, and let's get that centered on the inside. That was really bad. I feel like I'm all thumbs today. My fingers aren't working. Okay. So you're absolutely amazing. And we need to bling up the outside a little bit. So we're going to use some pearls, which are the Pearl Basic Jewels. And we're going to put some of those on our card. And I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to grab some of the small ones. And I'm going to just put them up in this corner. 3. I always like to do in odd numbers. And right there. Okay, so it's really simple. It's nothing real fancy. You could add a bow to it or a ribbon, but I kind of liked it plain with just the pearls. So it says, "Here for you now and in better days ahead. You're absolutely amazing." So there's our 3 cards for today. Let me get those all out here and so you can see them. And see if I can get them in the right order here. This was the first one, and the second, and the third. Let me see if we're getting them all on camera. Thank you, Sharon. I enjoyed doing them too. Let me scooch this a little bit, this one a little bit, and this one a little bit, so if I can get a better camera view. Well, somewhat here. I guess we're kind of crowded a little bit. But those are our 3 cards for today, and I'm glad that you enjoyed all of them. If you ever have any suggestions of anything that you want me to work on, let me know and I'll see what I can do. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Sharon. And so next week, Monday, will be August 23rd. So I'll be back at the same time, same channel, at 11 o'clock Central Time. And be sure that you like and share the video. That brings me more viewers. I lost my comments. There they are. That adds to my viewers. So I'll be uploading this to YouTube later today, so you can watch it on there. If you'd rather not watch it on Facebook, you can watch the replay on YouTube. So give me a while, because I've got some things I got to do this afternoon, so it might be tomorrow before I get them loaded up. And all the measurements and pictures and everything and directions will be on my blog also. So, but that'll be later today, or probably not until tomorrow before I get to it. So, but I want to thank you for coming and joining me today, and y'all have a good day. Stay safe and stay healthy. And until next Monday, we'll see you then. Bye. My chair's creaking back.